Welcome back to Tongue First, the queer podcast where chosen family is sacred, emotional support bottoms are always on standby, and somebody is probably reaching for their tweezers right now. This week, Siren and Wendy are joined by their friend Meggers for a conversation about parenting rainbow kids, surviving sexual assault and religious shame, building queer community, internet friendships becoming real-life family, and what it means to keep showing up authentically in a world that doesn't always feel safe to exist in. It's vulnerable, it's validating, it's a little chaotic, and somehow there's still a conversation about dingle hoppers. So grab a snack, text your queer bestie something mildly concerning, and settle in. This is episode 4, Rainbow Kids, Survival, and Emotional Support Tweezers.
Everyone, welcome in. We are starting episode 4 of Tongue First, and we do once again have a guest, and she's real mouthy, so.
Wonderful addition to our podcast and to our network, to our fam, to our fram that we call my side of the community on TikTok, the bays with Wendy's side of the community on TikTok.
Frambays.
The Frambays. And we're just thankful to have her here and to chat about her experiences. We'll talk a little bit about how we met and kind of the things that we've gone through together since we've known each other now over a year. I don't know, maybe you can tap into a little bit of like what straight dating is like. I don't know.
And she is the queen of all gays. How about that?
Absolutely.
I am a super ally. I love you all. I don't judge shit. Actually,
She
I
has
do
a
judge
child
people.
in the community as well, so
Yes, I do.
she's aware of what the struggles are to be a giant homo.
Yeah, and her partner is trans. So I do understand some things from a real perspective, and especially like being a parent of a tiny little petite female. I mean, she might weigh 87 pounds soaking wet. She's tiny. And I worry desperately about her.
So tell us how you've molded your life around being in the alphabet mafia as the biggest ally and the biggest queen for us. How'd y'all meet?
First of all, I've never, ever been a biased person, period. The end. I'm from a big city that was uber multicultural. I went to a private school. I will never forget, I won't say his name because we're on podcast, but in 6th grade, I looked at one of my best friends and I said, "You know you're gay, right?" And he looked at me and goes, "No, I'm not." Like, "Yeah, you are." And he was like, "I have a girlfriend." I said, "I don't care. You ride horses." Like sixth grader logic. Okay,
I wasn't aware that horses were the
PSA.
he did like dressage.
PSA, everyone, if you ride a horse, gay.
Well,
Save the cowboys for the other cowboys.
Right.
We ride horses here.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
well, guess who was right?
It sounds like you were right.
We've always remained friends to this day. So, haha. But I don't like injustice. I don't like discrimination.
Yeah.
I don't like any of that. So I'm here for all
Yeah.
the right reasons.
So you've always been a big ally for the community, queer people, people of color. Amazing.
Everybody. And I will always be that way. And I learned that from a very long line of strong, educated, forward-thinking, not just men, but women.
Yeah, and you've told me a lot of that story in some of the conversations that we've had. We met over a year ago, probably a couple of days before Transgender Day of Visibility, International Transgender Day of Visibility, and you came into the live that I was doing that day and showed some massive support that I'd never seen from anyone for this community. And that just brings me to this conversation. And this person we're talking to right now is in a unique position and has a very powerful opportunity to support this community. And she does.
Yeah, she's extremely generous with a lot of people on TikTok.
I go to protests and all of the things too. I'm politically active. Yeah, no, I don't just talk. I put action behind my words. And I have to, and I'll tell you why. It's because of my daughter. My first instinct as just a parent, you want to protect your kids, right?
I wish there were more parents that thought that way.
I do too, because I do know of children of my daughter's age and my son's age that their parents are not supportive at all. So guess whose mom I've become? I'm lots of people's mommy.
Yeah. And we love that. So thankful for that.
I love when you're my mommy.
Mommy, oh my God. Um, no, but that actually brings up an interesting topic that we could talk about. Both being the parent of a queer child, and I'm saying queer in the broader term of queerness.
She's under the spectrum of the rainbow.
Right. The support or lack of support that Wendy and I have gotten and things like that within that whole spectrum, as well as, my kiddo is experiencing a gender queerness, gender spectrum, something as she's growing right now. And I don't know, I think to that in particular and just how difficult of a world we live in right now, but also how it's difficult in a different way. Because when I was growing up, it was difficult in a way to even know that I existed. Right.
Truth.
And now it's
And you
like,
got to remember, I'm older than you, so I absolutely remember. Like there was nobody called a transgender. You were a drag queen or gay or a lesbian. There was not all these other wonderful layers to it.
Yeah, gender wasn't really discussed. It was much more about sexuality.
Correct.
And like the understanding, even now, a lot of people who haven't fully opened up to understanding gender variance and stuff like that, that associate it so closely with sexuality when in fact they're two very, very separate things.
They are indeed two very, very separate things. And I can say that as a cis woman. There are women that I am absolutely attracted to, but doesn't mean I'm gay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, right. You can be bisexual, you can be pansexual, like you can be trisexual, like let me try this shit out one time and see how I feel about it.
Yeah, exactly. Try to see what happens. You never know. But I think because of my daughter and my son, they're both really forward thinking. Obviously, she's in this rainbow spectrum, but he is a massive ally and always has been. And his girlfriend actually identifies as a they, them. And I love her to death, Raven. I'll say her name because it's not her real name. It's her nickname. But I think you have really accepting, open-minded people. And then I think you have people who just cannot for the life of themselves wrap their head around any of this. I can love somebody without it being a sexual thing.
Right.
And sex can be separated from love. Like you can just have sex. Well, I mean, it's not that complicated.
It's not that complicated, I think, when we open ourselves up a little bit more to the spectrum of the human experience instead of limiting us to what culture or what religious standards or anything else that has kind of decided to claim dominion over our existence. Not necessarily existence, but our lens at which we should look through to see existence.
I remember my two cousins, one's a lesbian and one's a gay man. And I remember Joni, my cousin, the lesbian, trying. I mean, this, you got to remember, is a long time ago. And so she'd bring guys to, whatever, family functions as dates and stuff like that. And she ended up marrying a woman and was happier. And now she's out and proud and it's all good and nobody gives a shit. Except for my one uncle talking about religion. He's dead though. So, he was like, she's going to hell. I'm like, oh, sorry, crying out
No,
loud,
he's
Joe.
dead.
If anybody's going to hell, it's you. But anyway, his son is my other gay cousin. So this Uncle Joe that says all the gays are going to hell or whoever, whatever. Well, his son has been married, divorced, remarried to men. So how'd that work out for you, Joe? How'd that work out for you, Uncle Joe?
Right, Joe, fuck off. Okay, let's
Right?
circle back around. Let's reel it in.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is how your first interactions were with each other. What was your initial thoughts of each other? Give me like a synopsis of how y'all got to be where you're at to date.
Like
with
Siren
meeting off
and
of
I?
TikTok. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God, I think we just kind of clicked immediately. Like I felt your energy. You have such a positive, and I really needed it at the time because,
Yeah.
I had just lost my mom and like I was going through all kinds of stuff. And it was just like, oh my God, this is a beautiful, safe place to come. And I don't have to worry about getting kid on. And I could come in with makeup or no makeup. It didn't fucking matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything just felt right. And I
Yeah, and
felt
that's the kind of
completely
space
accepted.
we definitely try to create there. And that's like a lot of people come in thinking that what we do on TikTok is about just queer people or just trans people, but it's really about people. Because for me, I'm so much more than just my gender and sexuality. Like my personhood is so much bigger than just those two things. And I think that pushing into that, a lot of people feel safe. A lot of people feel loved to kind of be themselves as well. And I remember through this developing relationship and you feeling safe in the space, I remember very specifically when you came in and got to start bragging about, bragging may not be the right word, but you got to brag about fucking taking up the space you needed and setting the boundaries you needed and dropping the man that was dragging you down for so long.
Yeah.
And that was like such a beautiful moment of celebration that we get to have together.
You and I, honestly, like through some of the biggest transitions I've ever dealt with in my life, you've been there.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think because we didn't even meet until like a month ago.
In person.
In person. Right. We didn't meet in person until like a month ago.
I know, but we
Yeah.
talk. This is what we do.
Well, right. But like, I think that's important to note that like, that's what we talk about in this podcast a little bit already too, is that we make these connections over such long, vast distances. And that's the beauty of the internet. But at the same time, there's something lacking in that relationship that you don't find until you sit in the same room with someone and laugh
I
over
agree
the
with
fact
that.
that like,
Yeah. We're actually catching flights around here to meet each other, and we're driving, and
And doing all the things. We're making it all happen.
Yeah.
Like, y'all come here, I'm going all around there. And
it's going to be good. And we're going to see each other again soon at Wendy's
That's
place.
what I mean. And then you guys can come up to that other place I live and
Yeah.
go to the beach.
It's going to be great. I'm excited about the relationship that we've had already and the relationship that's continuing.
Honestly, may I tell you both,
Yeah.
especially Siren and Wendy, but Siren specifically, you helped me through so much hard times with the whole divorce husband shit. I just want to thank you. And not only that, but just with other things, because you were always so kind to me. If I didn't understand, I always also tried to ask very politely. I'm not trying to be rude, but I genuinely, if I don't understand, sorry, I don't understand. And you were always so easy and like comfortable to ask questions too.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you.
It's about approach. Anyone can ask all of us anything, really. And as long as you're respectful, I love when someone asks me, because I love to ask questions. I ask Siren things on a regular. I don't know what it's like being trans. You know what I mean? So I ask Siren on a regular basis things, or Siren might be like, can I tell you something about your approach? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. When you know better, you do better. It's a good space for that. If you come in rude, then you're going to probably get hit with mute or, suck my dick or your mom, something like that.
You deserve to take up space until you're disrespectful with your energy, and then sorry, but you can take up space in your own life, but not in my space. And I think that's generally that's our space, yeah, and that's generally the energy that a lot of people latch onto, and that you latch onto, Meggers, in terms of like we deserve space, we deserve the abundance, and we deserve not just material abundance, but fucking emotional abundance and mental abundance. If you're spending all of your time worrying about how someone else feels about what's going on, worrying about what someone else is doing, and not giving yourself the mental space to thrive and to grow and to be present with yourself, like you're going to miss so much. People try and steal that shit from you all the time.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. One of the things my grandma said, I want to learn something new every day.
Yeah.
If I'm not learning, I'm not growing. If I'm not growing, I'm standing stagnant. If I'm standing stagnant, I might as well just be dead.
That's facts. And we're all making relationships with each other. Like, I know it's TikTok and we've met each other on there, but we are making really close personal relationships with each other.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like when you, Wendy, arrived and we had that first night, basically just the two of us, we'd never had that opportunity.
Yeah.
And so that was so freaking cool. I had
And what she's talking about, y'all, for everyone who don't know, Siren and I went to Palm Springs to see Meggers, and I was there with her for a day and a half before anybody got there. So we really got to talk about things and make a connection with each other and a deeper friendship than what we'd had before, because it was like surface level. Like, she's busy, I'm busy with work and TikToking and the podcast. So we got to actually just chill out and get to know each other.
Was spend time in each other's space, like real space, real interaction, like you were saying, Siren. When everybody was here, that was really awesome.
Yeah.
And I've had some other TikTokers come. I've had a really wonderful experience. I wouldn't complain a bit. And then I get to meet more on my way home. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
It's great. It's great. And this is the as we get larger, we have to get smaller.
Truth.
in terms of our reach as creators, but also as friends. Like when we meet friends, we also have to get smaller in terms of being in each other's space if we can. And it's not feasible for a lot of people to travel across the country to meet someone in person for the first time. It's not something that people can do.
Can't just let anyone in your space. I mean,
Right.
we are here to be on here and entertain people and provide a safe space, but we can't let every single person that we meet on here be in our personal space outside of TikTok.
Right.
It has to be a
Agreed.
really safe space and people that we've really known for a good amount of time.
Well, and
rocking
that we've
with us.
actually made a proper connection with,
Yeah.
like a real connection. I couldn't agree more.
Can we loop back to something we talked about briefly? I think it might be interesting to compare our stories and talk about this from some different perspectives. We talked about coming out to parents, and I think it could be interesting to hear from a supportive parent what that was like. And I would love to hear Wendy's story, what it was like for her to tell the adults in her life about who she was. And I'm not sure if I've talked about it on the podcast personally, but I'd be happily willing to talk about that for me too.
Yeah. Wendy, do you want to start, honey?
Get it from all sides of the coin here. I was like a medium weight in life lesbian. I mean, I wasn't real old, but I came out in my 20s, mid 20s. But at that point in time, my mom had already passed away. So I didn't get to tell my mom that I was queer. My dad, honestly, it wasn't really a conversation that I had with my dad. I just was like, this is my girlfriend. And they really didn't care or think much of it because I also have a queer sister that's a little bit older than me. And she didn't really come out. Like, literally, we just had girlfriends and they were just like, oh, okay, cool. It was never a conversation where I had to be like, Mom, Dad, I'm gay. You know what I mean? I moved out at 16. So I was already out and doing my own thing. And honestly, there's 12 of us all together. So
They were like, you're not dead? Okay, we're good. We're good. We're doing okay.
they weren't really worried about it.
Did you feel like they treated you any different? Like your dad?
No.
No.
Like my dad wasn't really a drinker. He smoked more than anything. He was into the Mary Jane.
Oh,
He
my.
I
Oh,
am too.
on the rare occasion that he drank, he would make out with his guy friends. So I think he was a little bi.
maybe he was bi
Uh,
too.
Yeah, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I think the biggest thing was probably my grandma because she's uber religious. And so even with her, I only remember one bad conversation that I had with my grandma because she was like my best friend. And there's so many of us that I really wanted her to get to know the person I was. So I took time to go see her, take her to dinner, go to her house, spend the night so she could know who her grandchild is because she had so many between the
Right.
cousins and aunts and all the kids. Like there was so many of us. And there was only one time I remember like we were almost done with our meal at like Olive Garden and the whole thing like gay marriage came up and she said something that upset me. I don't even remember now because it's been years ago where I was just upset. Like, how would you feel if you couldn't marry your partner that you were with? Being a heterosexual woman, like, how would you feel if you just couldn't marry the person that you'd been with because it's not legal? And I remember getting up out of the restaurant and walking outside, and my sisters were like, that was rude. And I was like, no. I was like, how would you fucking feel? You don't have to worry about that. This is not a conversation you have to fucking worry about. And I'm so excited for you that you don't have to fucking worry about that, but I do. So,
That is something that concerns me, is that there are
yeah.
things that my daughter has to worry about that I never had to worry about. And so I totally understand what you're saying.
Not a great conversation to have with her because I love the hell out of her, even though she was religious and she
Oh.
quote unquote didn't believe in my lifestyle. She never really preached to me about it. And I could talk to her about my first wife and the situations with us. And she would give me advice, just like she would give someone advice that was in a heterosexual relationship. The older you get, I feel like these topics and these things are more pertinent in your mind because I have a niece who I raised. She was my twin sister's daughter. So I like practically raised this kid. And we've had conversations in the last year about the community, and I told her I feel like she was transphobic, and she said she didn't care. And I'm just like, who's this fucking kid that cried when I couldn't get married when she was 10? She didn't understand why we couldn't get married. That is saying like trans people have mental health issues. Just disheartening as hell. So there's a couple things that I've had to deal with in general and that. And she's like, why do you care so much? You're not trans. I'm like, because I'm part of the fucking community. That's why. It's like if you never had to deal with that kind of hatred, because it's rude.
And I think that's really honestly what it gets back to is it's less about the fact that we're part of the LGBTQ community together and the fact that we are humans together who have experienced discrimination based on the fact that we exist in
Exactly.
our truth.
Merely existing at a
I'm not
concert. I've
LG
told y'all this story. There's
my
times that we've been fucked with outside just purely existing. I've been called a
Yeah.
faggot at a concert when I wasn't doing anything, and this person threatening to whoop my ass, this cis man. I was standing there waiting for my best friend. Sirens had situations like this. I'm sure our producer have. It's like all you're doing is existing. Being gay is a fucking crime in America. Being a person of color is a fucking crime. Being trans is like this shit is crazy. So if you've never had to deal with that factor or being nervous just going to the bathroom by yourself, then you will never understand how we feel.
Hey guys, before we jump into this next part of the episode, just a quick content warning. The next section of the episode includes conversation about sexual assault, coercion, purity culture, and trauma related to intimacy and consent. Nothing gets graphic, but things do get emotionally heavy at times. As always, please take care of yourself however you need to. If those topics aren't something you're able to sit with today, feel free to jump ahead about 11 minutes to rejoin the conversation.
Yeah, I can't imagine how you all feel. I mean, I can imagine just because I'm a female and I've been in really uncomfortable, unsafe situations with men.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I've been raped. So I get it,
My first
but I don't.
experience with a man was basically that also.
That was my first experience with a man.
SA'd. I was SA'd. I was 12 to fucking 16. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I don't know about our producer, but there's 4 people on this call right now, and 3 have been sexually assaulted.
absolutely.
So the numbers don't fucking lie.
No.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most underreported crime. We all know underreported crimes ever because it's so hard to prove or disprove. And the way it's been weighted, I always believe the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about whose story is most believable. Not
Well,
necessarily believable, but like in terms of how truthful their story is, but who's going to believe them in those respects.
well, and who's coming in to do all the investigating, whether you want to admit it or not. We all have like preconceived notions. It's real simple.
Mm,
We're
yeah.
human. That's what we do.
It's honestly prejudice.
Yeah, it's a form of prejudice.
Yeah, but that's something that like developed in a way to keep us safe
Correct.
based
I
on
don't disagree. And
right.
that whole like the bear versus man on an island.
Yeah.
Give me the bear every day.
I'm gonna pick the
Yes.
bear. I absolutely pick the bear.
The bear and I would be friends. We'd snuggle up. It'd be cool.
You know what you're getting with the bear. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You never know what you're getting with the
Have you seen the deep dive they did on that website
No.
about the
No.
63 million hits on this pornographic website where
Most of it was like people wanting to do that to their significant other.
right, that's what it was about. There was
Wait,
a
what?
big portion of the website about people having sex with their SOs, their significant others, non-consensually. And then in the
Oh,
comment
that happens
section,
a lot.
I know it
That
does.
happens
And
a
in the
lot.
comment section, that's filled with people sharing strategies on what type of drugs to use, on what type of other things to use, like full of this stuff. And it has sparked a whole lot of interesting things.
Like
I'm
to
sorry.
your partner is fucking so
Yes.
crazy. So crazy.
I've been in that position with my ex. He didn't
Er-
force me, but it was like if I didn't, I felt like I was going to lose him. So basically, yes, he forced me. That's not how my husband should never treat their wife.
No.
You should never feel like that.
No.
And that was the last time I had sex with him. So I stopped having sex with him for 2.5 years before we got divorced. Because I was like, nope, this is not how I'm supposed to feel.
Oh. I mean, that would be sexual assault. That would be rape, in my opinion.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this website, someone did a deep dive, like covert research on this website, how many hits it got in a month. The month of February, it got 63 million hits.
That's
website.
disgusting.
63 million hits in February. What has come down from this? There's a couple things to shake down. That's total hits on the website, and there's more videos than just that on this website. But regardless of that, I'm going to get to another point. So the number being 1 is too many, if you ask me. But another researcher on TikTok, I forget what her name is. I'll pull it up and we can credit her at the end. made this video where she went through all this research where they interviewed men in college and in university age men and how if they've ever either considered forcing a woman to have sex with them or have done what would be considered rape or sexual assault. And the percentage was unfucking believable.
Like high.
On borderline 50%.
And the fact that you just so freely admit that shit.
Right. In a survey. So like they freely admit this in the survey, and she cross-references like 8 or 9 different surveys, right? And then does the math in terms of how many men are in the United States right now. And what percentage of those men have gone to university and were studying, and does all this stuff and says, okay, this is the real number. It's not 63 million.
Oh,
it's like 86 million.
Or more.
Or more.
Because children don't really have a lot of voice. And children, it happens to a lot.
Would it be bad to say this? And we can edit it out if we need to.
Sure.
But I feel like, this is my opinion, and if you don't like it, that's fine. I don't really care. Being essayed myself, I feel like if someone has done something to a child, a woman, anyone, a man, if you have sexually assaulted someone, if you have taken the power away from them and you're taking something from them, you deserve to fucking die. I don't care. That's how I feel. You don't deserve to live. You are a complete piece of shit person.
I don't disagree with you at all.
Especially with fucking children. Like, no.
Do not mess with children, old people, and animals. Got it? Everybody. They're
like,
off
it's
limits.
just crazy. I couldn't imagine forcing anything on someone, let alone having some sort of sick, twisted fucking thrill over it. And the amount of trauma it's caused me and other people on this call that has happened to, like, that's
people
your
listening
whole
to
life.
this in podcast land. The percentage of people listening to this right now.
Exactly.
And trust me, it never goes away, as you well know.
Yeah.
Never goes away. But yeah, no, I mean, it's always there in the back of my head. And this is also why I think when I'm with my daughter, I get so concerned because I know what can happen. Because guess what? It's happened to me. You know? And in my situation, I was 12 and the guy drove me out in the middle of nowhere and basically said if I didn't do it, he was going to leave me there. And I had snuck out on a school night and everything. He was 18.
It's just, the percentage is just wild. And it's
It is.
like,
And it's so sad.
That was a big shift, but I think that's okay. I think
that's necessary to talk about because we are talking about you basically all being females and our own personal experiences. And let's be clear, if you're a female, that's going to be one of your experiences, some way, shape, or form.
It feels like that.
You are going to have come across some self-righteous that thinks that they're entitled to do whatever the hell or say whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, the percentage is so high. So anyone out there who's had to deal with this in your life, if you haven't talked about it or got some sort of help or really dived into this, I recommend that you do that, even if it's just a friend, because not a lot of people around me knew that this happened to me until a few years ago. And then I ended up finding out all kinds of shit that my sister went through that I didn't even know, that she had her own sexual assault trauma that I had no idea of. So you can be a sounding board in a safe space and please talk about it because it does affect you so much. I didn't think it affected me as much as it actually did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I try to just forget that it happened, but you're still subconsciously doing things and reacting to things because you've had this
your
trauma.
body holds on to it. It's if you can't release it.
And that's why I never understood why. I mean, there were times when I was married, I just like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, but come on. And I'm like, no.
Well, there's been this cultural teaching that is your job. Like that is why you exist.
It's not your fucking job. No is a whole sentence. If you don't want to fucking do something, it doesn't matter if you're married to someone.
No.
And if they make you feel bad about it, you're married to the wrong fucking person.
So for me, I come from a different perspective, right? I mean, I experienced life on the other side of the gender spectrum for 30 plus years and spent time in locker rooms and spent time with conversation with people. I never in my wildest dreams would have considered doing that to anybody, ever. Ever.
Couldn't see you as your former self doing that either.
I remember being in like college age, and I was also a Christian, and was very much like purity culture raised me, and there was so much shame built up around sex and sexuality in general.
Weren't you guys like abstinence, abstinence,
Oh yeah,
abstinence
abstinence
until you're
only.
married?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then if you
Mm.
didn't, especially for a woman, if they were to have sex before they were married and broke their hymen, that was a fucking big deal.
Yeah, women have always been.
And
You're
like,
gonna get more shit being a woman than, and like the whole boys will be boys and they're just guy.
I'm
Fuck
I
that.
was terrified of
Yes.
myself. Guys, I was afraid of myself because
Yeah.
I was told over and over again that like, you know, it might come to a point where it's normal. It's like if you might find yourself in a situation where you lose control, so you have to avoid those situations. Well, what the fuck? Like, well, what happens
No.
if I end up in a situation? Like, I always have fucking control. What are you talking about? And I felt I was terrified of myself, of what I
I
could
do
do,
think that
what I
some
was
guys think
capable
it's
of.
a rite of passage, or adults even
Yeah, yeah,
actually act like, for guys,
yeah.
that it's a rite of passage. Now, as a female, if I lost my virginity at 17, I'd still be like the whore, right?
Right.
Where a guy would be like, "All right, why take
Right.
you so long?"
I mean, or guys would be like, "Oh, high five," but guys are never whores when they do that. It's only women. Like such derogatory shit around women, but if a man is doing the exact same thing, fucking let's high five, brother.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's interesting that you said that, because I literally caught myself today talking about the ex, and I said, "Oh, he's such a man whore," and then I was like, "He's just a whore."
He's just a word. He's a fuck
I'm
boy.
like, no. Whore doesn't automatically mean female.
No.
No.
So after I transitioned, which at this point I have been out to everyone in my life that mattered, and was on hormones for, I'm now, right as we speak right now, about 4.5 years. But after I'd been out for probably, I don't know, 6 months, 4 or 6 months, I started putting myself out there on Tinder and things like that, because my ex and our intimacy had come to an end, which happens for a lot of people that transition. It doesn't happen for everybody, but it does happen. And I was wanting to experience like what I missed, like what dating was like, but dating a man. I never even gave myself permission, because like as someone living in the body of what looked like a man at the time and what acted like a man, like a man in a relationship with a man was never where I saw myself, because
Right.
I was a woman. Like I've always been a woman.
See, that's, I think, where people who don't understand your position get really confused. They're like, well, they're just gay or whatever. I'm like, no, they're not. They were born into the wrong body.
Basically. There's one chromosome that decides what genitalia you're born with. I just went back. I got aftermarket parts. Um, so at like 6 months, I started putting myself out there, and finally got a date with a guy that like got a date that, even talking about it now, that sounds awful. I had a date with a guy, and it's not easy being trans on dating websites.
Siren, question. Is this the person that you were talking to us about in the TikTok live that was kind of like real wishy-washy with you?
No,
Okay,
this is not
okay.
Shane. No.
Okay, gotcha.
That's another person. This is my first experience with a man. I just wanted to like, I don't know, share a little bit, because it's a
Yeah,
different,
no.
it's a bit different than what y'all have experienced and what a lot of people have experienced. And I think that like this still matters, because there's still part of me that for a long time was like, that's not what it was. I wasn't sexually assaulted. That's not what happened. I was a willing participant in this.
Oh, babe.
Um,
Yeah. Like I
yeah,
was a kid and said that. I wouldn't even
right.
say rape until I was 4 years ago.
I didn't tell anybody. I didn't acknowledge it. I legitimately lived in denial. I blocked that motherfucker out.
As you needed to, as your young self at 12 needed to. I see. I was 34, 33.
And I didn't know what I thought I was going to get in trouble because I snuck out. And like,
Right,
I'm a
right.
12-year-old.
Right. I wouldn't even thought to like talk to a 12-year-old about it yet. Something
Yeah.
like that. Now absolutely.
Right. But
Like
back then,
yeah.
Yeah.
come on, that was the 80s. That was the 80s.
We were the same age, Meggers, so I thought the same thing. I was going to be in trouble or accused of doing something.
That was that old school mentality.
Yeah.
You're a
So
girl. What did you do to entice the man? I'm like, oh, fucking, it's not my fault.
I was
Yeah.
34 years old, and I got a date with a guy and wanted to get some food and drinks and then go for a walk in town. And I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't expecting to have sex. That was
Yeah.
not the goal of this encounter. Maybe make out a little bit, like whatever. I hadn't even like kissed a guy yet. So not in the realm of my thinking. We end up going on a hike down this trail near the river, which looking back, it was my first time out like dating someone. I don't know. It was stupid. It was so dumb of me to do.
Don't do that to yourself. That's not fair.
That's true. That's true. But we started kissing, and then like one thing led to another, and I gave consent for each step of the way until he took the condom off and didn't tell me. And I learned when I got home and went to the bathroom afterwards.
Oh, hell fucking no.
I didn't even really understand what was happening. It was my first time. And at 33 years old, at 34 years old, I'm blaming myself as not like paying attention enough or something like that. And not even calling it like for
But
a
you would
couple
have nothing
years.
to base it on. That's
Exactly.
my whole point. Like, I could tell because it feels different.
Right.
But you might not have understood that. Like, do you see
No.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe
Yeah. I
he
had no
also
idea.
actually never put one on.
But maybe no, he had, because there was one sitting on the ground. I couldn't go on a walk on that trail anymore.
God, I'm
I
sorry.
used to walk my dog down there all the time. But the crazy part is that's not even like I'm telling this story and then I'm being reminded of other parts of my life. The second time I ever had sex ever with this girl that like I had dated for over a year, we were broken up at the time. She came over my house and we had like a basement door. My room was in the basement. It was really easy to sneak in and out of. I never really snuck out. I was a good Christian kid. But she showed up at my house drunk after we had had sex the first time. And it was like a week later. And she basically said, if you don't have sex with me again, and like I was saying no, I was trying to hold to like the church boundaries and
Right.
stuff. She was like, if you don't have sex with me again, you never loved me in the first place.
Not a guilt trip, fuck.
Right.
That's crazy.
No matter what that is, manipulation. If you're going to try to manipulate somebody for any kind of reason, then goodbye.
Great. So we got into some pretty deep stories, some pretty emotionally raw stories there, and all that comes with being a woman, being
Just say being a woman, to be honest with
yeah,
you.
yeah,
I mean, if you're a female, you're fucked. Either way you look at it, and I don't mean in a good way.
right.
Something is going to happen. I just saw a statistic. Something like 8 out of every 12 girls has experienced some form of adult male sexual advance by the age of 8.
That's crazy.
That's
wild.
disgusting.
That's so gross. Oh my God. And this brings us back to being a quality parent. And Meggers, I was wondering if you would tell us a story of what it was like for your child to come out to you and like how that felt.
Did you have to navigate differently moving forward with her? Or was it just ease and you just were the same?
I can't remember all the words she used because I get them confused and I get them mixed up. So I'm not going to try to say what she said she was. But I knew it meant she was a rainbow child. So that's why I call her a rainbow child, because I don't want to ever mess up the words.
Sure.
Anyway, I said, yeah, and tell me something I don't know. And she was like, what? I was like, you think I haven't figured that one out like years ago? Okay. And she goes, and I'm dating Al. I'm like, no. Really? Gosh. And she started laughing. She's like, you've known this whole time, haven't you? I'm like, yeah, I'm a mom. I'm smart. I'm intuitive.
When did you know? When do you feel like you knew?
Yeah. How old was she when she came out? And is her partner trans? Like, yeah.
She like officially came out, like sat me down to say that. Was honestly the beginning of June of 25.
So almost been a year.
Yeah. Or she officially,
Right.
said it. That said, I think I've known since she was probably a freshman in high school. I think I knew before she did. I didn't know what, but I just knew it wasn't going to be like me, like very typical cis white woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just knew. And then there was a while that I was wondering about our son, Peyton. Actually, just straight up asked him, I'm like, can I ask you something, buddy? And he was like, yeah, mommy, what? And I was like, I come from a place of love, like no judgment. He's like, yeah, of course. It's like, are you gay? And he goes, no, I'm not.
No. Like almost like disappointed.
Almost
No.
bummed out. Yeah, it was kind of funny. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I just wasn't sure. He's like, I know
Yeah.
you wouldn't care either way. You're
Yeah.
my mom. You love me. I'm like, exactly. But yeah, I just kind of didn't know. And then I thought maybe he was asexual for a while. And now he's got a girlfriend. He is definitely not asexual. And now he's an adult. I told him, I said, if you ever need me to buy you some things in bulk, let me know because I don't want grandchildren anytime in the near future. Actually gave her a couple boxes of Plan B.
Yeah,
Plan A,
stock up on
whatever.
that shit just in case.
Yeah.
I did. I gave her a few boxes. I was like, just in case.
Wendy, what are you doing behind that microphone?
Don't worry about it. Me and my emotional support tweezers are having a time.
Okay.
Your emotional support tweezers?
Yeah.
Yep, she has tweezers.
Yeah. I have emotional support. I wouldn't call them emotional support tweezers, but
Because I don't like hairs.
tweezers are
anywhere
important
on me,
tools.
and I have to. Whatever. We're not talking about this right now. Fuck off. Leave my tweezers alone.
Why
They're
not?
literally sitting on my desk. So anytime I'm on my desk, they're in my hand, and I'm like, is there a hair anywhere? Let me just get it out. So I just do that.
You tweeze every hair. You know they make razor.
I don't use that
things
on my
for those.
face.
You can get.
I'm gonna just
It's called microderming.
microderming, microblading,
Derm.
all the micros. But look, my emotional support tweezers are purple and pink ombre, and yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
It reminds her of me.
I've literally
There you
been
go.
hanging on to the same pair of fucking tweezers for 7 years. This is why
Wow.
when you find a pair that you
I've
like,
had the same pair for
Exactly.
25
A
years.
bad pair of tweezers.
when you have
sucks.
a good pair, you
Yeah.
have to just keep a hold of that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you do because the bad ones, they don't get the hairs. And then you're like forever trying to get it and you can never get it. You need the pointy ones that are very finely.
I have ones with the flat end, but it's
Yeah.
curved a
Yeah.
little bit.
That's what these are.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
like
these
it.
are.
It's so good.
But some
It's
people
so
have
good.
asked me if I have PCOS, but I've never been tested for it. But I don't have an extreme amount of hair that grows. There's just certain spots. Yeah, I don't you can feel them if they're hard and not peach fuzz. So I have to get rid of. And now I'm almost
Sure.
45. They're fucking white, and I'm
Oh.
like, you raggedy bitch.
You're talking about whiskers
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
You're not
you're like a
talking
kitty
about
cat.
the peach fuzz. You're talking about the
Yeah.
actual whiskers. So I got a funny story
Oh
about
shit.
whiskers.
Meow.
Oh my god.
I never had a whisker a day in my life. Why would I? I was in my 20s.
Who would have thought the podcast with Meggers as a guest would be more chaotic than a podcast with
And
just
look, I didn't
me
have
and
to worry about
Wendy?
this shit when I was in my 20s at all.
But that's what I'm saying. I was pregnant. It was the hormones. All of a sudden, I started getting literal whiskers. And so those I plucked out. Yeah, those big black hair. Yeah, that's a different situation. But then I got pregnant with the other and I lost the whisker. It went away.
My sister gets them and she'll let them fucking grow so long and she plays with them. I'm like, bitch, I'm going to hold you down and pluck those things. Stop it right now. Can you imagine a chin hair that's 3 inches long and you're just fucking.
Wait, I
Girl,
came back
I
at
will
girl,
hold
I'll
you
hold you down.
My sister has chin hairs that grow and they're long and she plays with them and she lets them get real long. And I'm like, I'm about to hold you down
Oh my,
and tweezer your ass. Cause girl, stop.
oh my god. I'm not sure that's allowed, but with her consent, maybe.
It's my sister.
Okay, then it's fine.
I've never tweezed her.
I give her a pass on that one.
Yeah.
I never
Wendy
tweezed
a
her. I
pass.
just tell her I'm gonna hold her down and tweeze her chin. I've never done it. I just tell her.
So we're coming up on an hour of the recording so
Okay.
far. Anything else we want to make sure we talk about, make sure we cover while we're here, and not let the podcast get 2 hours long and make it so K-Rock doesn't have to spend 16 hours editing it.
There is that. We don't want to do that to that poor lady. No.
She's so pretty over there. She's so cute in a little Jeep, riding around with the sun. Oh my gosh. We're mobile right now, by the way, guys, in podcast land. K-Rock is mobile. They're out chasing storms. It's pretty exciting.
Question for Meggers. Do you think you have closer connections in relationships with your queer friends than you do your heterosexual friends?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Because I feel less judged by you. What's going on?
I think we were all processing it. I think you're right. I don't know what else I would even add to it.
Well, I've had someone that said they've been judged more being in a relationship with me than they've ever been. They thought the queer community was very judgmental.
Maybe they're just assholes.
Oh shit! Someone dropped the mic.
I mean,
Someone
for
dropped
real.
the mic.
No, for real.
The queer community can be judgmental. It can be.
It can be, but I feel like this might be my bias, but from my outside perspective, looking in rainbow community.
Rainbow Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
LGBTQIA.
I think the males can be so much more catty and bitchy and awful than the females. That's in my opinion.
I've heard that too. Like someone I just recently connected with on TikTok said that a lot of gay men have been rude to him. And I'm like, really?
Oh, God, yeah.
Same.
No, and they don't respect boundaries
Same.
more often than I think females do.
I would say it's a mostly gay woman. There's not much straightness in my body, maybe a little bit, you never know. But I am finding that most of my relationships in my life are with women, including friendships. I don't know if that's the case for most, but it just may be how I've kind of centered myself around. And I got to imagine for gay men that the opposite is true, that most of the people that they're in interaction with on a regular basis are men.
Maybe.
I don't know about that. No.
I've met a lot of gay men have relationships with either cis women or they have a gay bestie that's a girl or mask or trans, you know what I mean?
I agree with that statement. Again, looking outside, looking at my friends David and Mike and Bill and others over the years, I think it's very different. I think that the men are like catty, bitchy, or can be, sorry.
It feels like for some reason, like I get the feeling from them that they have permission to do it because they're gay.
Well, I think being a gay man is almost become like the new purse.
To have as like a friend or like they're
Like to
No, like
themselves?
it's a new cool thing to have. I had a gay friend.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about like if
Yes.
someone has a gay friend. Oh, I have a gay friend.
So it's like
okay.
I have a new purse.
Yeah,
Right.
like they're token gay, as we call it.
Yes.
Well, I think I'm trying to think of like the perspective of why gay men have been rude to this cis man. And I said it could be because they have to always be on defense, like ready to fucking go at any time to defend themselves physically, emotionally, mentally, verbally. You know what I mean? So I said
Yeah.
I can maybe understand why that is maybe a reaction right out the gate because they're so used to being burnt. You're not going to fucking put your hand in that fire anymore
Right.
because you've already done that shit and you got burnt too many times. It's all about perception and perspective. So I might understand why someone can come off that way because it's just a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it right, but like I understand.
No, but it's clarification,
Yeah.
which is always good.
Sorry. Do you think there's a lot of men in general that you've met that you feel like they're a safe space?
Since I've come out,
Yeah.
Jared, but like I mean, MD,
Mr.
like
Val.
a couple people, Mr. Val. Yeah, a few people in my interactions and like people I know, but like no one like safe space in terms of like, hey, if I need to talk to someone, this is the person I'm
Mhm.
gonna come to. MD has been that in my
Yeah.
life a lot, and you guys know MD. MD is one of my mods on TikTok. For
Yes.
those of you guys who don't know, MD is a 6'6" teddy bear of a human being, and
Such a sweet little pony princess, that one.
yes,
I love him.
and yeah, so he's in that, but he's also quite gay.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight men who've been.
Oh, I think it depends on the gay men. I think some of the older, and I think it's also geographically. I have gay men, male friends by my cottage that are part of that kind of society, right? And then I have my gay friends out here that are uber successful, that part of society. I feel like some of them are more catty than others, but I feel like in general, they're all more catty than what I've experienced with you guys in this community. It's not necessarily even towards me, it's just even towards each other.
No, but I'm saying, like, is there men that you've met in general that you feel like it's a safe space. Not that they're catty, because everyone could fucking be catty.
Right.
But is there a safe men in general, is there men that you've met that you haven't found out some sort of fucked up shit that has happened, or a man in general that you're like, yes, that is a safe space through and through?
Yeah, I have. I do.
Yeah, but I mean, you never know. Like it's always a risk. I don't have many men left in my life that
Yeah. I feel like the percentage is low is what I'm trying to get to, because I don't have a lot of, I feel like it's low.
Yeah.
Okay, I will absolutely agree with that. And the men that I'm thinking of are basically people I've known my entire life. Like my neighbor in Omina, who's like my brother I've always had living next door. Like I could tell him anything and he would help.
I think those are few and far in between, though. Just like you said, like your
oh
uncle.
no, they are very.
You know what I mean? Like it's you can't even be safe with people in your own family that you're related to.
I think I've had an interesting experience in particular because I had a lot of male friends that I would have considered safe space. And many of them, after I came out, still treated me like a guy friend. And that became then an unsafe space for me.
Yeah, because it invalidates you in your process and who you are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting together with some of my college friends one time. We had like a little reunion thing. And most of the women in this group didn't really want to talk to me or include me in their circles of conversations. And most of the men who I was friends with in college did. And I remember we were sitting around chatting about something, and this is shit that guys talk about all the time. Someone commented about one of our friends who wasn't there, the size of his dick. Just in casual conversation, talking about the size of his dingleberry. Dinglehopper? Is that what we call it? What do we call it? The dingle.
Yeah, it's a dingle hopper.
Dingle hopper. The dingle hopper. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is not conversation that you'd have in front of any of the other women who are here.
Yeah.
Like, how is
Just
this
locker room talk?
right?
Oh,
But
boys will
like,
just be boys.
but I'm like, it invalidates who I am, and it felt just
Yeah.
no longer safe for me.
Number one, how the fuck does he know what size his dick is? Number two, why are you talking about his dick, you jealous fuck? Do y'all play like do guys like
Do you know that
Okay,
game? Have you ever watched, what is it? Waiters or what, that weird waiting? Guys do that.
really?
Yeah. Try to get you to look at their dingle hopper.
That's fucking
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. There was like, have you seen that movie Meggers? It's called Waiting. They just randomly will like, you'll be in like random positions, like, oh, I'm just checking the walk-in cooler for something. You come out, boom, somebody's
trick your
wiener's
friends
right there.
into looking at your junk.
Yeah. Can you imagine if women did that? You have to be
but like,
laying on the
this
floor,
is what women
spread
do. We
eagle.
have shit where we literally just send each other pictures of our boobs. Like we have a group chat where it's not a surprise. It's like we're all excited to see each other's boobs. Maybe that's a gay woman thing, but like.
Guess the name to the dick.
Hold on, say that again. I missed it.
Guess this dick is out here. Guess this dick. On this episode of
on straight TV.
On this episode of Guess This Dick, Meggers is gonna try to pick whose dick is whose.
That shifts into one of my other questions. This is what I was gonna end with, but fuck. I don't even know if we can bring it back to the serious question. Deep breath, deep breath. We can do it. One serious question.
Everyone be cool, everybody. Grow up. Can you imagine though if you just came out and I was on the ground with my feet up in the air? You saw my puss! That'd be crazy.
That'd be wild. That'd be wild. One of my friends was driving his fucking Honda CRV down Interstate 76 into Philadelphia. If you know the area, this is not a safe road. It's very tightly whatever. Was like driving in such a way that the friend in the passenger seat was holding the steering wheel so he could stick his pelvis up to the window to get us to see his dick from the other car that was traveling with them.
I've had someone do that when I was younger, for sure.
This was part of that game that they all, like this unspoken weird game that they all played.
No, this was just a random fucking guy that was gross.
No, this was like 2006, 2007 when I was in college.
They were in their 20s.
I was a mother then. Oh. So still, yeah. So not my vintage. Got it.
Right. I don't know.
We definitely say this though, but I definitely did start a group chat where we all send random boob pictures to each other because I wanted an opinion about my boobs from my friends.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a couple people in the chat. Now there's like 16.
Yeah. And we all send pictures of our boobs to each other. And it's definitely not gay at all. Not
No,
even a little
no,
bit.
it's so
Honest,
hetero.
you know what? Who gives a fuck if it is what it is? My
No, it
grandma
very much
needs to
is.
walk around butt naked.
What you guys don't realize is I haven't been wearing pants this whole time.
True.
Um,
Who knows what we got down? My
You know
clam
what?
could be
That
right
could,
on my
that could
chair.
be absolutely true.
You
Clam
haven't
could
seen
be
my butt.
right rocking on my chair, just on the cloth, hanging out. You never know.
Thankfully, it's cloth and not one of those leather ones because that would stick.
Oh, ouch.
Can you imagine if your lips stuck to it? Like
Oh my
one lip at a
God. If
time.
your lips are, no, I hope your lips aren't that big.
Oh my God.
Meggers, I got a fat pussy, babe. We're chunky. Sometimes they're fat.
Yeah. Okay. It's a deep breath, serious question. I want some advice from Meggers for both me and for anybody in podcast land who's interested in this too, because Meggers is a very politically activated individual and she very much wants to promote and drive change in this country into more positive and more powerful places for women and marginalized communities in general. So a lot of us, especially my generation, have lived through a time where being politically active has meant so many different things, from when I was in college to now. Like, there's protests every weekend. What advice would you give someone who wants to get involved politically? And I want to take two sides of this. One being like someone who has the time, is a single person, doesn't have kids, and can get involved politically. What is the best thing that they can do to take a step today to do that?
Here's the thing that anybody can do. I don't care if you have 57 kids or you have no kids. There is a group called Indivisible, and they have a chapter in literally every state and in every city in every state or county sometimes.
Indivisible.
Indivisible. Yes. So Indivisible, like in my area in Michigan, we have the Traverse City Indivisible, and then we have Leelanau County Indivisible, and I'm a member of both. And it's free. It's not like you have to pay anything. They just ask for donations if you can. But basically, what they do is they do all the work for the permitting and all the things with the city and all of the organizing. So it's all run on donations, obviously. It's a nonprofit.
But it's a
And
good like central base
yeah, and
to
it's
like
called
check in
indivisible
locally.
because it's literally Republicans, Democrats, moderates, it's everybody. And
Yeah.
the protests have been getting bigger and bigger. And if there are 7,000 people at a protest in my little hometown of Traverse City, Michigan, and that was in the beginning, that's saying something. When
Yeah.
your full-time population all year round is maybe 140, 130,000, 7,000 people to join into one place, that's a big deal.
So, but what I hear you saying is like the advice for people would be to like not Indivisible. Yeah, that is like the actual item
And
right
you
now.
can
But
do
it's
that
like
right
the
now. You
bigger
can go online
picture.
to their website. They have an app. They will tell you in your area what's going on when and all of this
Right.
kind of stuff that you can donate money immediately. I mean, you can get involved. They always are looking for more volunteers. Honestly, the best way to do all this change that we really need to do, y'all, is from the grassroots up.
Right. Get local is what I was getting at. Like the overarching message there is like we got to get local. We got to think about what we have directly around us. And this is what we were talking about earlier with community and with people is yes, we have these connections that spread across state lines, country lines, all across the world. We can have a conversation with someone in fucking Australia in a matter of seconds. And yet, like, getting involved in something local has become infinitely more difficult, it feels like, for some people.
I don't disagree with you, but that's again why I work my local elections.
Right. And that's what we all should be doing. That's what we all
And
should be
that's where
doing.
then you get to know everybody too.
Right.
Let's be
Right.
clear. Everybody goes to vote. Republicans and independents and Democrats and undecideds. You know, you don't have to be a registered anything to vote. you have to be a registered something to work in an election, but you don't have to register with a political party.
I got to imagine most of the people listening to this podcast are probably on
Probably
the bluer
blue.
side.
Oh, I would think so. Like I said, I would love a third party. We need one desperately because I just think I think that the current Democratic Party, there's so many people that are still just really good friends with some, like the Kushners and the things. And it's just like, okay, what kind of change is going to happen if everybody's pockets are getting lined but ours? So I'm ready for a third party, but it's going to be it's not impossible, but it's going to take a lot of doing. So,
Wendy, do you want to give our now every episode we've given a little bit of a disclaimer about our political stance as a podcast?
Yeah, so the first thing I want to say is please go fucking vote. I have allies and friends that are like, oh, I don't vote. And I'm like, you could have fucking canceled out somebody's vote that's against me just existing as a human. Please go fucking vote. For all of you who don't know, it's fuck Trump to the day I fucking die. Fuck ICE, free Palestine. And if you are okay with this piece of shit tyrant that's running America, don't listen to our podcast because I don't like you and your mom smells like poop.
Or listen to the podcast and grow a little, but I don't know. Surprise us.
Actually,
Sometimes
take something positive. You are capable of your own actual thought process and you have critical thinking skills.
right.
Please listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
If you're
You can
incapable
change
of that,
someone's mind.
go
for
find
sure.
find somewhere else to be.
I think we all are getting to the point where we're realizing that to try to talk to someone that supports what's happening and going on in the world, they're not going to understand what you're saying, and you're not going to understand why the fuck they are okay with this person who has zero intelligence or decorum about theirself.
I don't disagree with that at all. I don't have any tolerance for it, nor do I have time.
You might as well bang your head into the wall.
Thank you. I agree. I don't care to have to explain it to anybody else anymore. If you haven't figured it out by now, then just go.
Sure, you tell your general contractors who repair this hole in the wall that you've banged your head into to give us our commission, since we are the cause of said hole.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
We share the love.
Okay. Last question. Are we ready? So I asked Jared about a time he went tongue first as his last question. But I think that we had another conversation with Jared about dating websites. Tell me about like a crazy date, a crazy internet interaction that you've had with a person.
I've had a couple.
I'm sure there's a couple, but like let's we're trying to save K-Rock here. K-Rock's already like stressed. I can see she's like grabbing the oh shit bar.
All right, don't worry. This is a moderate one. So I went out with a guy on Friday and he came over here. We hung out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He was tired because he had worked all day and, we had dinner. Everything was good. And he was like, do you care if I go? I'm like, no, girl, I'm going to, yep. And
they played Scrabble for y'all that don't know. They played Scrabble.
We played Scrabble very, very intensely. And anyway, I guess I fell asleep on the couch and never went into the bedroom, which I think maybe pissed him off because next thing I know, I hear my doorbell ring and I was like, the fuck? I'm like, look at my phone and it says 524.
Hey,
I realized my bedroom door was open.
Did he like ring the doorbell on the way out to fucking wake you up?
I think so.
Like he ding dong ditched you after he ding donged you?
Now, bitch, because you never came to bed. Ding.
He ding dong ditched you after he ding donged you. That's crazy.
Yeah, and this is a guy I've been out with 3 different times.
Boys be fucking crazy.
Come wake me up. Like, hello.
Right?
The TV was on, the lights were on.
He already woke he woke you up with the doorbell. Like, what the fuck?
He ding dong ditched you after he ding donged you is wild.
It's pretty fucking hysterical.
Did you ever hear from him?
No, but I haven't reached out to him. I wasn't planning on it.
That's crazy.
You need to ding dong ditch him back. You don't need to do it yourself. Just like an Uber to his house.
I'm good. It's fine.
You should just text him and then like not ever reply back.
I'm not going to text him at all.
Exactly.
Don't give a shit. I don't care.
Boss ass bitch energy over there.
Honestly, I hadn't heard from him in a long time, and he showed up again. I'm leaving. Bye. Peace.
Yeah.
And I can
Moral of
also
the story.
unfollow and
Moral of the
block him.
story: boys are gross.
Boys are gross.
Or
Boys are
maybe
gross.
he was just like, whatever, I'm cool.
And
like, I'll see you
sorry.
again in a few months, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't
Oh my
even
God.
care. How about that?
Right.
You think if you weren't upset about it, though, you would just be like, hey, you fell asleep on the couch. I gotta go. Like, I'll see you later. Forehead kiss. Deuces.
Right.
You'd think he'd say something, but obviously he's not man enough to do that. So that's not what I'm looking for anyway.
Yeah. So you heard it here first, chat. The safest way to go is just be gay. And no,
Disclaimer. If you ding dong after you ding dong ditch, shout out to you, I guess. Kind of rude.
You mean if
But
you ding dong ditch after you ding dong?
Right. Yeah, flip it.
Flipping around.
yeah.
And twist
Ding dong.
it. And
Yeah.
work it and reverse it. Oh.
Meggers, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I adore
thank you so much,
I
Meggers,
love
for
you
being
so
on the
much.
podcast, baby. I
I
appreciate
love you all. You guys know
love you
that so
too.
much.
You are a bright light of
Yes.
heterosexuality in our life, and I love that for us.
It reminds us that it's not everybody. We're not all gay.
There's a lot more people like me out there than you would be very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I choose to believe that, and I think that's what carries me through on like some of these worst days. Is that like
Well, I don't even think, honestly, Siren, I genuinely believe that.
my goal is that no one has to come out of the closet ever again,
Right.
because the closet's just not there.
Heterosexual people don't have to come out of the closet. They don't have to come out straight.
Right.
So, if you made it this far in the podcast, we fucks with you hard.
Yes,
We
we fuck.
fucks
And
with
make sure
you
you
real hard.
leave a review of the podcast.
Like,
Give us 5
subscribe.
stars. We'll read your reviews in a later episode.
Tell us how pretty we are. Do whatever. Do all the things. Push all the buttons. I gotta go let my dog out before he pees on my carpet. He's 16 years old.
I should probably go before I pee on the carpet. So.
I love y'all. No peeing on the carpet.
All right.
you.
I love you.
Bye.
This was fun. Thank you for
Love
having
you.
This was fun.
me.
Bye.
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 This episode of Tongue First was written and hosted by Aubrey Siren Jones and Wendy Reeves. Produced and edited by Katie K. Rock Murray and Aubrey Jane Jones. Special thanks to Brooke Dale for the voiceover recordings and to Meggers for joining us for one of the most honest and heartfelt conversations we've had so far this season. And to every queer parent, queer kid, survivor, ally, and chosen family member just trying to make the world feel a little safer than the one they grew up in. If this episode made you laugh, feel seen, cry a little bit, or immediately text someone, okay, but this reminded me of us. Make sure to follow, rate, and share the podcast wherever you listen. You can follow the chaos live on TikTok at Sirenegade_440 and at Wendy Reeves 81. New episodes every Monday. Until next time, stay curious, stay queer, and don't forget to lick responsibly.